welcome to the second Star Fox CD progress video. It has been 5 months. There has been, 218 commits to my source code since that build, indev 0.0.1 that I showed in the first video. There's been a lot of changes. Most of it's just technical junk no one cares for. So I'm just going to go over the stuff I think is worth talking about. So anyway, the under the hood changes was like freeing memory, so I have more to waste on other things. And there were some other changes, like the palette fade routines that were used on Fortuna and Titania. I unhooked those so I can use them anywhere with whatever palette. And I can stream data from the MSU1 data file now. It's like 4 gigabytes of extra data storage. I'm not using it right now. I probably will later on if I end up having FMVs, which I may not. I don't know. The FMV player source code that's available is terrible and has been just miserable to work with. But if I can get it to work, I will have it, because I really would like to have FMVs, just like 1 or 2. And there's a new RNG thing. I believe it's, what is it, like 789 XOR shift, something like that. It's actually, I watched Kaze's video about random number generation in Mario 64, and I saw that the page he had put up on the screen, or I think that or his editor, I don't remember if it was edited by him or not, showed a 6502 routine for doing that. So of course, I went and took that. And that saves 2 bytes of memory. And I also made the teammate selection for the chases, where they go, oh, help me, and you gotta shoot the whatever it is that's harassing them. So I think I've made that better because of the Me Face Star Fox thing. The initial release of that, the RNG kind of sucked, I was told. So I went and fixed that now. I think it's better, in part because of this new algorithm here. And another thing, if I go ahead and boot the game here, I guess you get to the, past the, the if you paid for this, you've been scammed screen, is, well, Randy has provided information through interviews and posts on like indev and places like that to where I can now at least detect the Super FX3. I don't have it yet still, but now I can at least check that if it exists, and if it does, I can show a nice little Super FX3 logo on the screen instead of this, warning message telling you the game's going to be slow. So that's nice. And there's Rumble support now too, and because we have Rumble support, and because the Super Nintendo Dev Manual, the official one, tells you should do this, there's a little safety program that runs if you try to connect anything other than a standard controller to the console and boot the game. Just tells you you're using a bad controller. You can only use a regular controller or a Rumble pad. So that's something that had to be done for safety reasons, because I want this to be able to be played on hardware. Hopefully. So far it works, but And yeah, Rumble support and the safety thing, and if we go ahead and just go through the intro sequence, the disclaimer that this game is free, and there we go. It's just some changes to the intro sequence. You see there's new text boxes with a new font. It hasn't replaced the old one. I'm still using it in several places. I use it alongside it for things like the big text and the briefings and stuff like that. Josh drew that. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, his handle on the internet, but he drew that up, and he's like, hey, you want to use it? And I said, yeah. So that's in here now. And the title screen. Random did the music for the title screen. Yeah, I'm happy with it. It's very nice. I think it fits. And press start, and the fancy new title screen, which I believe I talked about once already. And up in there is the version number. Of course, this is still very early. I only just now got to 0.0.2. And the numbers and letters here next to it, that's the git commit number hash thing. So if I'm testing on the real hardware and like if I leave it there for a while and I see something, then I can like try to trace stuff back and figure out what happened. You know, what broke, that kind of thing. So anyway, yeah, press start. And neat thing here is now we have this nice little graphic of the Rumble controller. It's not the you know, the angry red cool Doom one, because I feel like that wouldn't fit. So I said I based it on my prototype that Randy sent me because I feel like it makes more sense. It fits better. So I edited the vanilla graphic to look more like the Rumble controller prototype. I think it turned out pretty good. I'm quite happy with it. Looks really nice actually, and you know, that's how I got my start with this stuff. Is I wasn't a programmer when I started with Kando and Star Fox EX. I was a graphic artist. I mean, I'm not great, but you know, if I try, I can make decent stuff. And the training mode had some little changes. Not really anything really worth talking about. But there has been another graphics change that I'm kind of proud of, sort of. Yeah, this text that comes up when you start a level or whatever, it has a new font. It's smaller, one, because I needed the extra VRAM, and two, just because I can fit a little more information on the screen. So that's nice. And when we get to the stages, you see that now it shows the full level number, route dash stage. And there's a 3D crosshair that I shamelessly stole from Star Fox EX. And this has just been temporarily put here, just for demonstration purposes. This is my sort of recreation of the Killer Bee enemy from Star Fox 64. It's more or less the same thing. He harasses you. It's not the whole big barrage of projectiles, because then it would look like Christmas and it would probably make the game lag really bad. Leaving on the new stuff, I think that would be a bit excessive. So it's a little simplified, but you know, it's the same idea. It's annoying, you know. It's not actually used in any levels yet, but I prepared it, you know, ahead of time because I intend to use it eventually. And yeah, as Rob said here, yeah, now the game does actually save a couple settings to save RAM. It's not anything crazy. This isn't Star Fox EX. I'm not going to have like 4 million pages of settings. It's just whether the crosshair in third person is on or off, and the control type you selected on the control screen. Those are retrieved from SRAM when the game starts. It's not shown on the control screen because it acted weird. It's a small little window anyway. It probably wouldn't be totally clear. But the nice thing over the 2D one is that it's much more accurate because it literally just follows the position and angle where the player is pointing. So it's a lot more accurate for aiming than the 2D sprite one that had all this crazy math to triangulate where the hell it's supposed to go. Also, if I go ahead and break a wing here, there are now models for broken wings for the player. And if I go ahead and go away, you, go away. There we go. We fast forward a bit here to the part where it's coming up here eventually. Come on. There we go. There's a model for the shield power-up too, and if you have broken wings, it'll, you know, show them as orange wireframes, you know, like the original did. It's the same sort of thing. So, yeah, that's neat. And now we're gonna go ahead and go onto the map screen. And this part is terribly unfinished because I only know where 3 levels are gonna go. Most of it is still just vanilla icons. You know, but the graphics for the background and the briefing and all that are done. I think it turned out pretty good. I haven't showed this off yet. I think I was gonna hold off a little longer, but what the hell. it's gonna be a while before I can get to the point where I can actually, like, you know, show this more complete and such. So of everything here, there's really only, like, in terms of placement, like, four? Is it four? Yeah, I guess it is four. Four stages. The black hole is going to stay, but it's going to be changed. It's still going to be secret, mostly because the music I picked for it is really good, and I don't want it to go to waste. And besides that, there's Corneria and Aquas, and this one. You know, if you're in the Discord server, you probably know which one this is going to be yet, but I'm not going to reveal it yet. It's hardly even finished anyway. It's just the background and the environment setup, and it's otherwise just the meteor level. I haven't changed the layout of the objects yet. The only two levels that could be considered complete are 1-1 Corneria. That's like basically completely finished, and Aquas is completely finished except for the boss. So we're going to look at Corneria first.
Good luck.
Kind of sort of new scramble sequence. I mixed a new audio track for this part. If you hear any pops and clicks, it's just because Messin has really crappy sound mixing. I can't do much about that. I'm not a sound programmer. I don't know anything about that stuff. And yeah, if you saw there, the base doors on the mothership, they animate, they open now. That was a pain. I tried to rotate them, like through a behavior, but I couldn't get it very smooth for some reason. I'm sure maybe there was something I was doing wrong, so I ended up just making an animated shape for that. And here I'll just quickly demonstrate that you can turn the crosshair and third person off. You hold down the R button and unpause, it turns off. Do the same thing, hold down and unpause. You know, it toggles it on and off. And I guess I'll just go ahead and play here. You notice that the level starts on water, like Star Fox 64, and if we get further here, past these green arches here, with the grass, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. And now we go on to land. Isn't that neat? A little sign with a good luck scrolling on it, like in 64. Little building with pepper on it, and the Phonymike tank things there that I recreated. The funny thing about this model here, actually, this came from WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii. For whatever reason, they recreated the models for the Star Fox minigame, like from memory. It's actually, some of these are like, some of the models used there, like laughably, like inaccurate. Like the proportions of the R-wing are ridiculous. But this one here, I don't think through, well, there actually is an arch shape that's kind of like this in the game, but it doesn't have like, it's not like thick like this, and it doesn't have the big bases that stick out. I thought it was neat. So yeah, this is a model from a Wii game and a Super Nintendo game. It's kind of funny, I suppose. The Blender plugin makes it really easy to quickly just make and chuck in, you know, models like that that don't need to be a speed tree, because I haven't cracked that format yet, so I still have to use the Argonaut tool for converting that stuff, unfortunately. Which is also why we only can export new animations with 12 frames, unless you want to go and hand edit a shape by hand. I don't want to do that. So I was really lucky I got that base door thing to work. And then we go to C again, and more arches. And you saw, I think, did I go through the skill fly thing with the 1-up? I think I did. And there's another one here with a little ring. Just to refill your health a little bit if you for some reason got banged up really bad. And here comes the boss. It's the vanilla stage 1 boss, but I've toughened them up a bit and added dialogue. And there's a new nameplate thing, and you know, you can see the 64 style like HUD thing, the boss bar, and he's orange, you know, like in Star Fox 64, red orange kind of. So yeah, he's just tougher, takes more hits to kill, Of course, there's dialogue now. Onaji did some of the graphics for the new characters. And you can see when all the bits get blown up, it's just crazy with how many of these things it shoots. I find that projectile to be the most annoying in the entire game, which is why I chose it for this one. Like, I hate that thing, so I figured if I was going to make a boss that's even slightly challenging, I have to include it somewhere. And there we go, as you can see the stage number again, and the new dialogue boxes with the font. I believe I already said that. Yeah, it's all turning out pretty nice. You know, with all the rumble and all that, it really makes it to be something like, you know, cool. It's just, it's really neat how all this works. Now we're gonna look at what's finished with Aquas, which is basically just the entire thing except the boss, because again, I haven't programmed it yet. I've just put the stage 1 boss in here just so the level can be beaten. I mean, you can have a level clear without a boss, but I figured it makes sense to have one just for kind of completeness for now, just so that there is a boss until I get around to programming the new one. This has been a lot of fun to make this one. And if you notice here, the space dust bubbles here, they're moving upwards. I went to Star Fox 2, and there's this thing where they make the space dust fall down for rain, like in a laddered. And there's an unused thing, as far as I know it's unused, where it goes upwards like this, like bubbles. So I figured out what the hell Dylan did in the Super Effects code to do that. And I replicated it in Star Fox, so now I can control it when I set up the background and environment for a level. So for rain, basically just imagine this, but falling downwards and a little faster, because here it's a little slower to look more like bubbles. But yeah, this level's been really fun to make. I enjoyed this one. Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of combat or anything, but I just think it's cool because, like, you're underwater and there's all this fish and stuff, and the background's all wavy, and if you noticed, I've, you know, recycled enemies and props from Sector Y because, well, I mean, it's all, like, aquatic type stuff. You know, I thought I was being smart. But yeah, this one was fun. I enjoyed making this one. This was actually, the first level to be made was this one. This was the first map. And yeah, the boss is supposed to be the clam type thing. Some sort of interpretation of that. But for right now, it's just a stage 1 boss, as I said, just kind of for completeness, so that there is a boss at the end of the level. And yeah, there's also the thing, and as the update I put on Twitter and Blue Sky about the pause music. The reason why that's not here is because, as I said, for whatever reason, Messin doesn't support the MSU1 resume feature thing, where you can play one track and then set a flag to pause and save where it is in that one, and then play another one, and then you can go back to the other one where it left off. Messin didn't have that for some reason. I had to get the source code and modify it for that. I recorded that video on my ThinkPad with Linux because it was easier to compile on there, because I don't have to download a 30 gigabyte SDK just to compile one program. So I guess I can show that clip again real quick just so you can see it. Just 1 second. Turn this up. And of course, for the pause music placeholder, I use the watch theme from GoldenEye because it's a good piece of music. I mean, you know, hopefully, you know, if you'd be willing to make music for this project, please contact me. Yeah, so that I don't have to recycle music from Star Fox 64. So there you go. That's what that sounds like. And I guess I can go ahead and demonstrate the rain effect thing here. I'll have to rebuild the game real quick. If I can get the... There we go. Okay, just 1 second. I guess I gotta go make one little tweak here to add a thing to make it do that. Yeah, use the throw on too. Hang on. Okay, where does this go? Okay. Yeah, okay, because I put it there on that line. Change to rain. Reassemble. I'll go ahead and undo it because I don't want to keep that there. Okay. Reload. Why is it not? Did I accidentally not save? I may have not saved. Okay. Hang on. Technical difficulties. Oh, that and the silly me. Yeah, when you do that, you also have to set it to like not use ground dots. Because ground dots, the routine to draw those is a separate thing. Well, it's part of the same thing, but it branches, I think, like early on to do that. If I understand the code correctly, which I probably don't. Okay. There we go. So there you can see the dust, it falls from the sky. Exciting, I know. It was fun to finally be able to figure that out because, for me at least, Super Effects Assembly is a nightmare. So it's cool to have a little more variety with the stuff now. So there you go. So that way you'll have seen basically everything that's new, I think. I did write down a list of things I wanted to talk about. I think I have mentioned all of them. Yeah. Yeah, I have. So, yeah, that's just about everything I have to talk about in this update, progress video, whatever. You know, thank you to Randy for the Super FX 3 and the Rumble protocol stuff and sending me the controller. Thank you to everybody who has contributed and helped. You know, Kando, Mike, Random, Chuck, who else? Onaji for drawing some of the new character dialogue things, and Josh for contributing the training music, and Random for the one other piece of music for the title screen, and yeah. So. Okay, am I sure I don't have anything else I want to talk about? Am I absolutely sure? I think I have brought up everything that I wanted to say. We're looking here in the list. Yeah. But, yeah, I guess I'll bring it up one more time because I'm not sure if I really talked about it. The Rumble support from Shindo Edition is in here, and I think it's one of the biggest changes that really affects how it feels, because like now you can, and it's like it's stereo too. Like if you get hit on like the left or right wing, the left or right motor in the controller will vibrate. So that's really neat. that was one of my favorite things, because like when I finally got the documentation from Randy on how it works, and I saw that I had 2 motors, I knew that we had to do that. And I think it's one of the neater things. And oh yeah, and thanks to Kando for writing the table system that got added in like towards the end of programming all that. And thanks to Randy for getting to work on hardware. So yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. Yeah, that's everything. Okay, so again, thank you to everyone for I guess your patience, and thank you to those who have contributed. I've already said their names, and thank you to those who have helped me, and etc. etc. And again, did I mention this already? I have no idea. I have forgotten by now. But if you want to possibly compose music for this project, please get a hold of me. You can find my contact information on my website. If you go on, I think on my Twitter page, or on my Blue Sky page, or on my Twitter about, or not Twitter about tab, YouTube about tab, there's a link to my website, summonSpace542.github.io. I think in the links page, you can find my Discord handle and whatnot. And somewhere I put up a Google Doc with frequently asked questions. There's more ways to get a hold of me there. Best way you can get a hold of me is through Discord. So if you want to try to contribute anything, contact me and we might be able to work something out. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for like 30 minutes. See ya.